Rebecca. Good morning. Welcome, everyone, and thank you for joining us today for our webinar on Reentry Primer for Tribal Courts. My name is Rebecca Horsechief. I'm Osage from Oklahoma, and I am the Program Coordinator for the National American Indian Court Judges Association. I'll be moderating today. We want this to be as interactive as possible, so please feel free to ask questions throughout and to make use of the chat feature. Our faculty presenter today, Keith Green, is the Operations Coordinator for the Muscogee Creek Nation Reintegration Program. And with that, I'll hand it back over to you, Jessica.
Actually, I think we can hand it right over to Keith.
Good morning, everybody. As Rebecca stated, my name is Keith Green. I am Operations Coordinator with Muscogee Creek Nation Reintegration Program. I have worked for our tribe for the last 19 years. I've been with our reintegration program for the last 9 of those years. And our program has grown abundantly in these last several years. I would like to thank everybody for joining us, and good morning. Our first slide is welcome our offender reentry programs. Muscogee Creek Nation is a tribe of 82,000 plus enrolled. We're the 4th largest tribe. We have a judicial branch, a legislative branch, health administration. We have a couple businesses that are operated under our tribe, which is MNBE, or Muscogee Nation Business Enterprise, One Fire. We also have our gaming and our support services. We have 9 counties that we serve full, and then 2 partial counties here in Oklahoma. Our history, we started out in 2004, is when law was passed for our reintegration program to be a startup program. In 2008, we received high honors from Harvard University in honoring nations. We were the top 50 program for Ash Institute in 2009. We consulted with the Vice President's office in 2010 on some judicial issues and some reintegration issues. In 2010, we had the Indigenous Conference in Cusco, Peru. That was an awesome trip, by the way. In 2017, we opened up our transitional living facility. So currently what we have is we have a 36-bed transitional living facility on site. We house male and female here in our new facility. And in 2019 of this year, we recently started out with Career Tech Services, which Career Tech is a program that goes back into our prison systems and educates our inmates. So what we have done, we have communicated with Career Tech, and we are going to start on our campus here to start teaching our residents a trade, which would be welding initially, is what we're going to start out with. So we're going to have a welding trade center here on site, and they are going to bring out a welding instructor, and by the time that our residents get done with this class, they will be certified welders. So this will make them more employable and have gainful employment and reduce recidivism rates. So some of our belief statements here at Reintegration is that we believe every citizen, even an ex-prisoner, is important. Every citizen is capable of change, and to become a positive and productive citizen. Every citizen is an investment in the nation's strength and sovereignty. And through our efforts, we can reclaim our citizens and restore them back into culture that embraces healing and restoration of the person. Prisoner reentry is the introduction of ex-prisoners back into society. And here at Reintegration, that's what we do. We reintegrate our citizens back into society. We as a tribe recognize that our citizens that are coming out of incarceration need assistance. And we are here to do that. We are not here as a social service program. We are a second chance program. We also believe that prisoner reentry is intended to create safer streets and public safety. By any and all inmates that are being released, they are coming back into society. And our beliefs of safer streets and public safety, we understand that if we can help these guys and gals get back up on their feet, give them an opportunity that a lot of citizens and a lot of people of incarceration are not getting, that we are making safer streets and the public safety. Restoration of the people into an atmosphere of healing and forgiveness. And that is something that as Creek people and as Native people, we believe in the healing process and we believe in the forgiveness. And that is one thing that we have continued to teach our clients that come through our program, and something that we've addressed with most everybody out there, that one thing that separates myself as an employee of reintegration from being a client is when I was younger, I got lucky and I didn't get caught. And being able to be upfront and honest with our clients allows them to understand that we are like them and we are like-minded. We have some of the same values, some of the same beliefs. They just made some mistakes along the way and got caught. And we also want to build positive and productive citizens by strong leadership, by strong morals and values. Our initial contact phase is usually we get a referral from a correctional personnel, a family member will call us, a friend of an inmate will call us, or our program goes out and we do seminars inside prisons to teach everybody about our program and what we do here. We use our media. We use our tribal media. We use TVs and newspapers, radios. We also have our website that is in reconstruction phases right now, but we do have a operational website. We go to job and health fairs, and then a lot of times we just have clients that walk in that heard about us from somebody when they was incarcerated, or somebody else had told them about us, and they just show up and walk in. When they're here, the first thing they do is we drug test them. We use a 7-panel plus alcohol drug test. We've recently changed from oral swabs to UAs. Then we go over our initial intake, and then after they're approved, we do random inspections, random UAs, and if any of our clients, when they are enrolled in our program, test positive, and if they have never been to rehab through our program, we will offer them a chance to go to rehab, and we will pay for it. If they go and they come back, they're still enrolled in our program, and we will still carry on with our services. If they refuse to go to therapy and rehab, then they can no longer be in our program. Some of the ways of determination of eligibility is they are eligible for our program 2 years post-release. So up to 2 years after they are released from incarceration, they can come through our program. They don't have to come immediately, which a lot of them do. Within a week to 2 weeks after release, they show up. But some of them don't, and some of them, want to go out and try it on their own and make it, and some of them can't make it, and then they come through our program. You also have to be a Creek citizen, and you also have to be willing to adhere to our program guidelines and caseworker recommendations. Since we've started our transitional living facility here on site, we have criteria like a lot of living institutions do. We have a 10 o'clock curfew. We have classes that we give, which we will get into here a little bit. But they do have to adhere to all of our program guidelines. Some of the life-sustaining needs that are out there that some of these clients do not get is what we offer from the very inception of them coming into our program. And it's necessary for life, and those are what must be met first, which is food, clothing, and housing. You have to have food to be able to function. You have to have clothing and housing. And those are the three main things that we offer right from the very beginning as soon as they come in through our program. Without any of this, we realize that this would cause dysfunction or possibly even death. We do know that, homelessness is a huge problem of people getting out of incarceration. We understand that a lot of these people have burnt every bridge that they had with family and friends, have nowhere else to go. And if these are not met, it usually results in offender recidivism, which that is one thing that we don't want to happen, and we try to keep our recidivism numbers way down. We try to keep our clients and our citizens out and help them to be productive citizens. One of the things while they're in our housing is we offer conducive to mental and physical well-being. So we don't put anybody in a housing unit because what we have, like I said, we have a 36 transitional living facility. So if you can imagine, we have 9 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom homes here on site. And it's like dormitory style living. So in each home, like I said, there's 4 bedrooms, there's 2 bathrooms, a full working kitchen, and they also have their own washer and dryer. So we want to make sure that they can get along with everybody they're housed with, and that will also help with their physical well-being. And we also have a on-site therapist that our clients meet with. So we want to meet with their mental well-being as well. While they are living here, all clients must be able to maintain a residence once services end. So that leads into our employment. And we want to make sure that our guys and gals are being educated and that they can further their employment, because they can only stay in our program for up to 9 months. So whenever their time is ending, we want to make sure that they can get out, have their own house, their own apartment, and that they will be able to sustain their own place. Initially, we have a $300 clothing allowance that is set up. That money is not spent entirely up front. We spend approximately $75 to $100 initially. During that $75 or $100, we buy 1 pair of slacks and 2 collared shirts. That way we can get them ready for business, ready for job interviews, and we can also help buy additional work-related clothing recently we have set up a service with our Goodwill. We can go to Goodwill and we can buy loads more clothes for a whole lot cheaper. And then whenever our clients get ready to go out on their own, we take their remaining $300 and we buy them clothes to help them move forward and get ready to be out of our program and be on their own. Through our grocery assistance, one thing that we sign them up for, or we take them, they sign themselves up, but we take them up is we get them signed up for either food stamps or tribal food distribution. And if they can't get tribal food distribution and they are allowed food stamps, then we use shopping in our area grocery stores. And we also have gardens on site to where we grow fresh produce. We have a 30 by 90 commercial greenhouse that all of our plants are started in. Currently, right now, we have over 300 flats of vegetables that are seeded and growing inside of our greenhouse, and very soon will be transported into our garden space. And this also gives them something to do when they do have downtime, not that they have very much, but it allows them to get out here and be productive and to give back as well. As far as medical treatment, it is offered through the tribe as a Creek citizen. We have many medical places that they can go, whether it be a hospital or a clinic, to get treatment. They are also issued medication there, so if they have any kind of thing that they need an antibiotic for, or if they have behavioral health problems, we have behavioral health within our tribe, as well as our on-site therapist. And they also provide wellness physicals to make sure that they are doing okay. We also have an on-site attorney to where they will help with legal assessments. They'll help with child support or custody cases or custody issues. They go out and they will be a court advocate for them. They'll work on expungements. They'll work on employment rights or tenants' rights. The only thing our on-site attorney will not help with is criminal cases. Once they come through our program, all their criminal cases has usually already been handled. Unless they receive new criminal charges, and if they receive new criminal charges, then they have breached protocol through our program and will probably no longer be in our program. But we also, like I said, we also do offer legal services as well. We offer classes. They're mandatory classes. So some of the ones, and this is not all of them, but some of the ones that we offer are Thinking for a Change, Victims Impact. We offer a finance and budgeting class. We offer a relationships class. We give job coaching, and they do volunteering for civic engagement. In our finance and budgeting, a lot of these guys and gals have either A, forgotten what it is to shop. Some of these guys and gals have really never had to go out and go shopping. Or some things has changed so much since they went in as incarcerated and since they've been out that they do need assistance. So we don't bring them in and turn them loose. We go out there with them. We take them to a store. We teach them how to shop. We teach them that they don't have to buy name brand food or name brand clothes to get started. We teach them that there are such things as needs and not wants, and it's better to buy the things that you need as opposed to the things that you always want. And then you can work up to buying the things that you want. In the Victims Impact, it's just a class that is taught to help our clients understand where their victims or their victims' families are coming from And then thinking for a change is how we just basically teach them to change their mindset, change their habits or their ways, and to think in a different light. Then we have some of our reentry classes. This is one of our case managers standing here in the middle, to where she goes into our prisons and teaches thinking for a change in victims' impact. And this is some of the clients that are incarcerated where they have graduated from this program and they are issued certificates. And this is one of her class photos inside one of our institutions. A lot of our clients are faced with different barriers of employment. Once you have a felony conviction, that is a huge barrier for anybody to have gainful employment. And because I'm not sure about everybody that is out there, but I know here in Oklahoma, that is something that is asked on almost every application, is if you are a convicted felon. And if you check that box, a lot of times we understand that employers will negate that application from the very beginning. A lot of our clients have lack of experience or lack of training because they was incarcerated at such an early age, or maybe they were incarcerated at a middle age and they don't have any work history. So as far as businesses being able and willing to give clients gainful employment, a lot of times they won't give them a chance. So which, and all this, it adds into lack of adequate housing. It creates a lot of spot jobs, and it's an unstable family dynamic, which also hinders in transportation. And if you don't have transportation, then it also hinders in medical limitations. So without having a job in gainful employment is almost one of the largest barriers that we face. That is why we've recently got involved with, like I said, career tech. The first stage is we're going to start these guys and gals out becoming welders. We're going to also offer other classes out there other than welding, but that's going to be our first class that we are offering. Employment is one of the biggest needs for clients, like I was just talking about. Trying to find offender-friendly jobs a lot of times are tough, but we have been up and running for the last 14 years and have made some really good relationships with a lot of businesses in and around our area, and have fortunately had some really good clients go out and make some great employees for some of these businesses. And sometimes they call us asking if we have any clients that are willing to come out and work for them. So we are breaking down paradigms little by little. Once they're employed, we help them with any training programs that they need to go through. And then we also follow up with their employers to make sure that they are doing what they're supposed to be doing. We make sure that they're being a good employee. And we go out and we'll visit the job sites and just make sure that everything is going smoothly, and if there's anything that we can do to help, that we will be more than glad to. Our career development is something that we work on, and we do resume preparation. We come in and we have a resume building class. Our clients come in, we sit down, we put them on laptops. We teach them, if they don't know how to work the laptop, how to use a laptop, how to use a flash drive or a thumb drive. We teach them how to build resumes and then to save these resumes on their own thumb drive or their own flash drive. That way that's something they can take with them. They're required to make weekly job contacts. So when they first come through our program, if they don't have a job, they're required to start making contacts with jobs or employers out there, that way that we know that they're trying to get gainful employment. And we also provide a list of offender-friendly employers. So that way, we're not just telling them, hey, you need to go find a job. We're letting them know places that they could possibly go to work. We have on site also a van driver, and our van driver will take our clients to job interviews. They take them to their medical appointments, to court. So we offer transportation, and where we can't transport them, if we're busy or we're shorthanded or whatever, there's public transportation as well. If they cannot be gainfully employed, we help them apply for disability. Like I said, we address as much training assistance as we can. And then one thing that is required of our clients is to get their GED. And we are working with one of our local schools currently that offers GED classes. They go every Tuesday and Thursday night. So if they don't have a high school diploma, they can get their GED, and that will also help them become more career driven. Some of the things we specialize as far as reentry services is mentoring or faith-based support and traditional healing. So we still believe in the sweat lodges or our sweats, and we also offer mentoring. The only person here that is in our facility that has any counseling degree behind them is our on-site therapist. The rest of us offer mentoring. It's somewhat of a big brother, big sister program to where we can go out here and help our clients and mentor to them. And then at times we have local churches come in to our facility, and we have faith-based talks. Some people call it church, but we leave it pretty open because we don't want to run anybody off, and we want everybody to feel welcome. And then we also have the personal mentoring and guidance to where instead of doing it in group settings, we can meet one-on-one and mentor them solely. And then if we can't help them, then we get them the help that they need through our therapist or our behavioral health program. Some of the advocacy that our legal services meet on our court and parole hearings. Everybody that comes through our program is free and clear. They've paid their debt to society. They can come through our program, and they may be on probation. Some of them are on parole. But everybody is here on their own recognizance. They are not court-ordered to be here. But our legal teams do go back and help with court and parole. They will help with fines and fees or child support. And we also have a juvenile program that we use almost as preventative maintenance. We try to catch our juveniles before they get to the point of going into a criminal lifestyle. So if we can catch them before they are incarcerated, then we can help turn things around for them. We do speak outs, which years ago used to be called Scared Straight programs, where we take clients into schools, but we don't call them Scared Straights. We call them speak outs or talk straights, simply because we feel that if we can be upfront and honest with our students and our juveniles, that we can catch them before they come through our adult program, or we can catch them before they ever become a statistic or incarcerated. And then we also offer prison tours. So we have a very good relationship with a lot of our prison systems in and around our area. And what we will do is we will go out and offer our local people in the community, if they want to go out and tour a prison, that way they can see what we deal with, they can see what these guys and gals are coming from, and this also helps break down paradigms of society that people that have never been incarcerated are usually interested by incarceration, but don't want to be incarcerated. So we are able to take them out and show them what it's like, so they will have a better understanding and maybe be somewhat more maybe compassionate at times toward people that are really trying to turn their life around and do better. One of the things that we do, if our clients are in between jobs or if they don't have a job, we have a client services is basically service payback is what we call it here in our office, but it's giving back to our community, it's giving back to our elders. So what we require our clients to do if they're not working is, or if they are in between jobs, and we will go out and find lawns that need to be mowed for our elders. If they need furniture moved, we've gone to Missouri and helped when they had a major tornado up there, a major catastrophe. We took a lot of our clients up there, transported them up there, stayed up there for a couple of days and helped clean up. Fire victims, whenever we have some wildfires in and around our area, we go out and there's times that we've gone out and grilled hot dogs and hamburgers for all the firefighters and passed out food and water. There's been times that we've gone out and helped families clean up their homes that have been ravaged by fire and lost. So we try to get out in our communities and do as much as possible. And in doing that, we do beautification projects as well. On one of our local main streets here in town, we go out and we adopt flower beds, and we go out and beautify those flower beds here in our communities. Some of the things that we do for accountability is we make sure that none of our clients is causing any malice towards Muscogee Creek Nation or its departments. We want them to understand and know that we are here to help them, but we all have policies to follow and we all have rules and regulations to follow, and you are no longer in prison, you're no longer incarcerated, and you need to behave yourself and act like a upstanding citizen. We need to make sure that they always keep all their appointments, whether it's a medical appointment, a job appointment. We stress that it's very important. We have to keep all of our appointments, and we have to be on time. And we're just kind of sculpting them into being a productive adult, being a productive citizen, and teaching them positive habits. We require our clients to give us a status update to our case managers that deal with them. Our case managers and our management staff meet once a week, and we go over everything that has gone on the week before and anything that we have coming up the week prior to. As long as we have no negative reports, that's our main goal. We try to keep everything down, and we don't want anything negative. We try to lead by positive examples, to be good stewards of our community, be good stewards of our program, and have a positive leadership roles. We want to make sure that the living conditions here on site, as well as any place that they are living, are kept neat and that they keep them clean, which helps us provide safe sanitary housing, because that's what initially we start out providing, is safe sanitary housing, and that's what we want them to continue to understand that they need to live in, and what they have to have for a conducive environment. Some of our program activities, and these are some photos that you can look at. Some are with clients, some are some floats that we have made over the years. But some of our program activities, like I said, it involves trainings. We do, like now we host webinars, we join webinars. We go to conferences. I will be in conference the middle of next month for a week at an Minotaur conference. We also celebrate our success for our clients. We have client appreciation days. We usually have them once a quarter, and we bring all of our clients that have gone on and graduated from our program or has become successful. We usually grill some food or cook out or have something catered in and celebrate their success, and we want them to understand how huge of a deal it is for them to start becoming successful and breaking down recidivism rates. We make sure that our clients go out and volunteer, and we want them to understand that if they go out and volunteer and they are willing to give time instead of always wanting to be paid for something, that it breaks paradigms down, that these people are just good, wholesome people, and they're willing to go out and donate whatever they have to make society better. We give tours within our program. So like I said, we do give prison tours. And then we also give tours of our facility. Our facility sits on 42 acres. Based on this 42 acres is, like I said, we have our gardening or our greenhouses on one side. And we have our housing, our living facilities on the other side. We have a 8,500 square foot admin building, and then we also have our career tech, our training center that we will give tours for as well. And then planning is very important for our clients. We try to plan and have work-related plans for them, living plans for them, and just planning for their future as a whole. Here are some of the pictures that our clients are doing our speak outs or talk straights to some juveniles at a school to where they go out and they just basically are upfront and honest with them and let them know where their choices led them. Because what we try to preach is everybody has two choices that they can make in life. They can make a right choice or they can make a wrong choice. If they make the right choice, their lifestyle will be somewhat easier, and if they continue to make the right choice, then things will continue to get better and work smooth for them, and they will have a good life and a productive life. If they make the wrong choice, they're going to face struggles along the way. Not saying they can't overcome from them, but they will have struggles that they will face if they make the wrong choice. Some of it leads to incarceration or even worse. Through our juvenile program, we offer an impaired vision courses or our drinking and driving course. So we have them put on impaired goggles or drunk goggles. We do a lot of these driving courses around proms and graduations. And we go out and we take our golf cart, we take these cones out, and we set a driving course up. We talk to the youth of the dangers of drinking and driving. We give them their statistics of drinking and driving. We have them watch a video about drinking and driving and the dangers of, and then we put the goggles on them and let them experience what it's like to be impaired while driving, so they will understand the dangers of what they're facing. Here are some pictures of our transitional living facility. This picture that is currently being showed is our admin building. This right here is our living facility on the left side of the screen. So this is one house that you can see, and all these are in a U shape that are connected. So what you can see here is you can see 6 housing units, and then there's one on the back side, which will end up looking like this. So this one that we're looking at here is Hodoli, which is that's in Creek. So what it is wind, and that is a clan for one of our It's our WIN clan. So each 3 units have creek names, which is Nogosi, which is bear, and then we have Woodgull, which is raccoon, and then Hodoli, which is wind. And those are all clan names, and those are the units that our guys and gals live in. Here's just another angle of our housing units. This is a documentary. It's, I think, like 12 to 14 minutes long. I can't remember exactly how long it is, but this is a documentary of our program. I'm going to go ahead and play this unless somebody has a question, and I'll hold off. But I will go ahead and play this, and then we will continue to move forward.
Keith, I'm not sure if it's going to play.
I'm not sure that it's going to play either. I've got it playing on one of my.
Yeah. For Adobe Connect, we have to have a separate pod to play YouTube videos, and we don't have that. So
okay.
I'll just go ahead and put the URL in chat, and folks can take a look at it when they have time.
That'll be great. That will be great.
Okay.
And then we can move forward. Like I said, it's basically a documentary, a docu-short of our program that kind of allows you to just watch it from a different side. Have some of our clients in there, some of our people that have come through our program talks. So it gives a little bit better insight to more about our program as well. So what we do here at Reintegration is we decrease criminal involvement among a group not normally reached by traditional interventions in the community. When we started our program 14 years ago, reintegration was not a popular program. It wasn't a program that our tribe not necessarily didn't support, but dealing with convicts or dealing with inmates is not always a positive twist on things. So we started out as a pilot program, and since then have grown to the point we are now. And our tribe really understands our goals and what we're trying to do and to make things better. Simultaneously, we're trying to rehabilitate our citizens. Just mentally, a lot of times is what we work on. And maybe it's not because they have mental behavioral issues. It's just their thought process. You know, there's statistics out there that tells you about, you know, if you live in this kind of an environment, you may turn out to be a certain way. We try to change these mindsets or these thought processes that any of our clients deal with. We offer protection to the public through rehabilitation and providing alternatives to reincarceration. So when a client is released from our prison systems, they're released with a $50 check and the clothes on their back. A lot of times you have to have some form of identification to cash this check. And if you've been incarcerated for any length of period of time, you don't have a form of identification. So if you don't have a form of identification, you can't cash this $50 check. So a lot of times what our clients do is they go back and start going into what they were doing, which was either stealing or breaking and entering or selling drugs or doing drugs, and it increases your recidivism rates. So that's why they can come to our program and get immediate help, immediate assistance. We can help them as long as they are willing to make that change, and as long as they can pass a drug test, we can start helping them immediately. So we understand that together that we can make a difference in breaking the chains of addiction, crime, prison, recidivism, abuse, and neglect are some major things that we need to accomplish. And if we can go out there and we can break these chains of addiction and we can help them with treatment, that is something major that we're helping these clients with, and they are not going to go back into prison. They're not going to recidivism. If we can help them to be productive citizens, we're lowering crime rates. We want to take out any abuse in the homes, and we want to take out any neglect, because as Native people, sometimes some communities are impoverished areas. So if we can teach them a career or help them to become more educated, then we can teach them to have gainful employment and educate them and help them to get jobs. So this is a bit about our program, and this next slide is Tony Fish is my manager. He's been Reintegration's program manager for 14 years, so for the conception of our program, he has managed it. He's been here from the very beginning. I'm his longest 10-year running employer that he has here. So him and I have been together for a long time. We've gone through a lot of battles together and continue to, and hopefully things get better. And this concludes our slideshow. This last slide here of training and technical assistance is available to tribes. If you would please contact us for any training or technical assistance request to NAICJA is a TTA provider for CTAS Program Area 3, CTAS Program Area 7, and TCCLA. We are also available to discuss other training and technical assistance needs related to other areas to strengthen tribal justice systems. And it has a link if you have any requests for NAICJA.
Right. Do we have any questions for Keith? You can type them right into the chat. Keith, could you talk a little bit more about the program for youth? Do you have, obviously they don't need things like housing, so what kind of things do you do with the kids?
What we do is we can help them with food and we can help them with clothing. You're right, we cannot house them on site with our adult clients, so unfortunately, some of them are having housing issues. It's because maybe they've been kicked out of mom and dad's house or grandparents' house or whoever's raising them at the time. But we can help them with food and clothing. We do mentorship programs with our youth. So what we do is any client that we've had for a long extended period of time within our program that we've built a great rapport with, one of our juvenile workers as well as this client will mentor this juvenile to teach this person, if they don't change their ways or they don't change their process, this is where they could end up. And then we want to just basically break down, maybe what problems they're having. Our juvenile program also can use our on-site therapist. So if there's issues that cannot be handled through our mentoring process, then they can go over to the therapeutic side and be able to get some more assistance there.
Well, that sounds wonderful. And that looks like we've had one question.
Yeah, I see that. Right now, like I said, internally we can house up to 36 people. Average of what we usually house is between 22 and 25. Right now we have 12 females on site, and we have 13 males on site. We do not house them, of course, together. So if you can go back and imagine the housing units again, our women are housed in one unit and our men are housed in the opposite unit. We are staffed 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. We have 21 cameras here on site, so there's always somebody watching and there's always somebody paying very close attention. But normally our normal average is between 22 and 24 to 25 on site, and then we also house some clients off site, some that are working in different towns or different areas. We house them off site. One thing that we do not house on site is sex offenders. So we house those in a different community. We house them in a different area. One, we are pretty close to a school facility, so we cannot house them on site. Probably, I would say about a quarter mile away at farthest is a football field, so we can't house them anywhere close to it. But everybody else, from any crime that you can think of, we house here on site. When the program was started. So when our program was initially started, like I said, we was started on a pilot program, and we was tribally funded. And now we are funded through gaining funds and tribal funds. About 4 years ago, or 5 years ago, I'm sorry, about 5 years ago, we wrote for 7 grants and didn't think that we would maybe get 1 at best, and we ended up getting 5 grants, which really consumed us. We had to hire a grant manager at that point in time to help manage our grants, and we got all these grants. So right now we're tribally and gaming funded, as well as the grants that we receive. We're letting some of our grants run out, and we're just trying to get more back to the basics of reintegration and giving back to our citizens and giving back to our clients. Are you able to consult? Yes, we have gone, like I said, we've gone over to Peru. We meet with the 5 civilized tribes. We have a reintegration meetings that we have constantly, and we will meet with anybody that wants to start up a reentry program. Unfortunately, all we can help is Creek citizens. We realize that there is a huge need for reentry programs across the nation. Here in Oklahoma, I don't know if you guys are aware that we are the #1 state of incarceration for females. So we've incarcerated more females than any place in the world here in Oklahoma, and we've done that for approximately the last 19 years straight. We're the #2, sometimes the #3 state in the nation of incarceration for males here in Oklahoma. So right here, we incarcerate almost more citizens than anywhere in the United States, or in the world for that matter, because the United States has the highest incarceration rates. So going back to the question, unfortunately, all we can help is Creek citizens financially. So we are willing to meet with anybody, any tribe. We've met with state agencies, tribal agencies, federal agencies, and we've talked to them to let them know how our program started and what we do. That way we can help, maybe not financially, but we can help educate them and teach them how to do what we do. We don't want it to be a secret. We want to put it out there so everybody can know and people can get gainful help. Do we have any more questions?
Okay, it looks like no more questions. So Rebecca, we'll turn it over to you to thank everyone.
Thank you, Jessica, and thank you, Keith, for that very interesting and informative presentation. Before we conclude, I just want to take a moment to talk about NYJA and our work in tribal communities. For those of you who are new to our webinars, NYJA is a tribal justice professional organization whose goal is to build and enhance tribal court capacity. We do a pretty broad range of work for tribal communities, including training and technical assistance to support tribal courts. We're also TTA providers for the Bureau of Justice, CTAS, Purpose Area 3 grantees. Another part of our work is the Tribal Access to Justice Innovation website. This website allows us to highlight and share different programs in tribal communities. If you know of a promising program, let us know about it. If it's not already highlighted on our website, you can go ahead and share it. That website is tribaljustice.org. And again, our goal with that website is to learn about emerging practices and share that information, as many tribes are addressing common challenges. And that concludes our webinar. Again, it's listed. My email address is rebecca@nyja.org. If anyone has any questions or TA requests, please email me. Otherwise, thank you to our presenter for your presentation, Keith, and NCJ-FCJ Jessica for hosting, and thank you everyone for joining us this morning, the Early Bird webinar.
Indeed. All right, thank you, Rebecca, and everyone, thank you for joining us. There will be a short survey that will hopefully appear on your screen here at the conclusion of the meeting. We do